Is life worth living? Hell no. And anybody who says it's worth living, I really question where they're thinking. I question anybody who is happy and peaceful watching all this bullshit go on. And look around us. These guys are pretty powerful. They control the media. They control what we think. You know, like, what is there to be happy about if you are a global thinker? Yeah, you could be happy in your own little piece if you've got your own, all of your needs are met. But if you can't see this train coming, all your needs that are being met right now are going to be taken away from you. And when you live in this reality, fuck, life isn't worth living. But, and this is why I smoke, because life is not worth living. And every time I have a cigarette on, oh, there's one day closer to my death. But anybody who is feeling hopeless, anybody who is not happy, anybody who feels life is not worth living, that the level that you feel that at, it is your potential to turn that around. That's what I'm doing. Yes, I may smoke, but I've had to get through a lot of the reasons, the blocks, the brainwashing that I do to myself and turn it around. Because the world operates in opposites. And while you are experiencing this hopeless, helpless feeling, the level at which you feel that is the exact opposite of what your potential is. And you need to unfold your potential. If you feel it's hopeless, then that means you need to turn that around to the same level of how much hope we actually do have and spread it around, because you're a global thinker. That's what I've been doing. Trust me, is there a reason to live when you start finding out how much power humanity really does have? There's a good percentage of our brain that is not being used. And what happens when you find out what a human is capable of doing if they actually use that part of their brain? And then you try and explain it to people, and they throw hate at you. I just did a video yesterday on the Dragon's Den. What they did was, I'm in a room full of these dragons putting me down, not giving me a chance to speak, just trying to use my image to make me look as the biggest, dumbest shit on the planet. And then they broadcasted it. So do you know what it's like walking around on a globe with how many millions of people that think you're a nut bar? And then the whole system has me on a freaking welfare system. Do you associate people on welfare being lazy and, stupid? And, I've had and not to mention society and my children's own father have told me I have no value. Do you not think that it's hopeless and helpless to have that much energy, negative energy, thrown at me, not be affected by it, and think it's helpless to actually communicate with anybody and say, wait a minute, listen to what I've got to say. I do have some value. So I've been working in the last 2 years using the tools that I've come to learn to heal myself. I know that all of this negative energy being directed towards me is my responsibility. It is my potential. I have it inside to turn that all around and let us all know how much hope we do have. I've had to learn how to communicate a little better. Kind of using YouTube to improve on my communication skills. What I'm saying is totally fucking different than anything you've ever heard before. You know, you're going to be questioning it because it sounds so freaking wild, but it is about questioning it. Try and make some sense out of it. You do have power. Each one of you, every one of us that feels hopeless and helpless, you are the soldiers for hope. And it must be done in a loving way because it's been done to us with a hateful way. There is a way of turning this all around. If you were programmed to walk down such a negative path that can destroy the whole fucking planet, do you not think these very tools that were used against us, all of the sciences, all of the praying to whatever God they pray to, if they can do all of this to us, don't you think there are tools out there for us to turn this around and use it for something good? Hell, they've taught us the tools they use. It's time for us to use those same powers and turn it around. This 2012 is a direction. It is a truth. We're in the truth period. We can either go mad, which will only escalate wars. It'll escalate wars between our families. We won't understand each other because we're not giving each other enough time to think. We will misinterpret everything because that's what anger does, is misinterpret everything. You know, and then we'll destroy the whole friggin' planet because we're not taking charge. We're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. But 2012 says there could be this big wake-up call. You need to wake up. You need to wake up as to what your mission in life is. Be a global thinker. Those who are happy right now, question why you're happy while you're watching so much destruction going on. Be a global thinker and know that you're part of a chain that needs to be connected. And it's not so much about, look at religion. It's not about me going out there and saying, you need to believe as me or you're going to hell. You know, that's basically how it may be perceived, as you need to believe in what I'm saying or we're going to destroy our freaking planet. All I'm offering is information. You need to save yourself, but you need to know the tools in how to save yourself. I can only use me as the example. I'm now starting to attract some money, and we perceive people that have a fear of success, have a fear of being successful, and that's not necessarily true. I do associate money to very, very evil experiences, and I don't want that to happen. Yes, I would like to have some support so I get off a friggin' welfare system, because I don't believe in that system. I believe we need to be productive, and I don't want to manipulate anybody to actually, use these tools to manipulate you to pay me money. But you have to decide, is this a product worth supporting? I would prefer, if I was going to do a mass campaign of collecting money, was to put together a documentary. And it's not so much money that would do it. A good writer, a good producer, somebody that's involved in film, that'd be willing to do it for free, but just love doing what they love doing, that puts all of this information in the way that was done to us. I'll continue.